Yo, what's good, guys? Your boy Nuisance. I'm here with another video. Honestly, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yes, I know. Um, what's been going on? What's really been going on? Really, I just been self-improving, working on myself, really trying to find myself, and really just trying to find my place in the world. Um, One thing I'll definitely tell you, besides this airplane flying over my head right now. Um, the world is bigger than what's inside your head. The world is way bigger than what's inside your head and what's going on. And let me take that back. The world's bigger than what's going inside your head. Honestly, you're not the only person in this world. You're not the only person who has feelings. You're not the only person who has thoughts. You're not the only person who has ideas. It is important, extremely important, that you put yourself out there. And I had to learn this the hard way, right? I was very introverted, right? I'm very naturally inclined to want to be by myself, not talk to many people, have my headphones in, not listen to what other people are talking about, what's going on around me, right? It's only until recently that I realized that a lot of things is a distraction. A lot of things is just, well, before I even get into that, communication is key. The key to life is communication. The key to life is people. We forget that all the time. We see things on Instagram like likes and stuff like that, and we equate it to numbers. No, just because it has a number does not mean that it's all automatic number. It's not just something that where you post a picture that you get likes and numbers just appear. These are real people. You have to appeal to people, because when you appeal to people and people's likes and interests, then you become more of a valuable person. You have to find out what the market likes. You got to start doing your research and stuff like that. But before even that, before you even get into that part of the human element, right? You have to realize two things. You have to realize two things, right? You have to realize that communication could literally take you from here, down here, to up here, right? Because the more you appeal to people, the more you're able to gain likeness and gain influence over people. The more people are willing to follow your lead, or even be willing to help you in certain things. For example, right? Say a casual conversation, right? I'm over here at the mall, and this is a true story. I literally am talking to this guy behind the register, right? We have nothing of face value, right? Just going on, right? So I decided to approach the conversation, whatever, this and that. Hey, how you doing? This and that. Um, do you like working at this job? And it's crazy how just starting from that point of view that we were able to work a conversation, and by the end of it, dude, literally, like, I was ordering my stuff, like my chicken wrap and stuff like that, and he literally gave me like more, like I'm supposed to pay for the sauces and stuff, but he literally gave it me for free and stuff like that, and just simply off the fact that it was a good vibe. Why do I say this? What's the reason I just said that story? Two things, right? Two things. One, when you're good to people, people are good to you back. He probably doesn't get acknowledged that often. People don't probably come up to him and start conversation often. So he naturally felt a satisfaction, and he felt like, okay, like, yeah, I vibe with you and this and that. And it makes people feel better, that human to human connection. Two, it also works in my favor as well, because he gave me extra sauces and stuff like that, right? But that's not supposed to be the end goal. The end goal, actually, not the end goal, but like the whole overall process is beneficial for both parties. You know why? Because we both crave that human connection. We both crave that, okay, I fuck with you, you fuck with me type shit, or I just needed to talk. Sometimes people need to talk. We live so much up in our heads, you know what I'm saying? Like, we live so much of our lives in our heads, that literally somebody coming to talk to us could literally make the difference, and that could really make the difference in life in general. Right now I'm starting this challenge. It's called the 100 interaction challenge, right? Talk to 100 strangers within the month. Honestly, I stopped counting because I'm probably well over 30, and it's been, what, a couple days. Literally been like 5 days. So by the time like next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm probably gonna hit the 100 and probably have to push it to 200 or something like that, right? But this interaction challenge is literally something that I started when I first started in January of this year. I stopped it for a little bit, right? Because I got sidetracked. But I started doing it again and I noticed a lot of things. Not only did I notice that my interactions with people became better, my overall confidence as far as approaching a conversation became better. My overall wit and communication skills, like on the spot, had become a lot more spot on. I could now switch from topics to topic to topic and seamlessly. It's not forced. It's not, I was literally in the gym, right? Going there this morning and I seen one of my boys, like, my boy George and this and that, right? Me and George, we don't really talk that much, right? We will talk here and there, but we don't really always get to talk. Today, it just seemed like we talked for almost 30 to 40 minutes straight, and it wasn't a bad conversation. It literally was just started off for like, hey, how you doing? This and that. You got to remember, every conversation is going to start off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You got to edge it towards, okay, getting into the juicy part, And how do you know? How do you do that? You simply just appeal to people's likes and their needs. You find out what people like, you find out what people need, right? And you apply that. It's the same thing in business. When you apply a supply and demand or whatever, like when something's in demand, you supply that need and you fill that void. So I know my boy George, he's into stocks, right? Let's say he's into stocks, right? Cool. We'll talk about, hey man, have you seen Robinhood lately? And in that, you could see it in their eyes, like when you talk about a certain subject that they love or that they like, their eyes start to open up. That's when you start to realize, okay, this is a topic that they're interested in. Okay, boom. So now that we're on a topic that they're interested in, we're gonna keep applying pressure. Now, here's what we do. Once we get that topic open, now you keep the ball rolling. You listen for keywords, you listen for certain things, even if you're not sure about the whole conversation, right? You could learn something from it. In fact, because they like the subject so much, they don't mind talking about it. And then the thing is, right? The thing is, when they start talking about it, you have to listen attentively to ask follow-up questions, because now it comes to a point where people talk, and it starts to come stagnant. Talk, right. Picture it like a chart, right? It starts up high, right? When they really high interest. Talk. All right, it's going down because you find less things to talk about. Now it's up to you as the listener to listen and engage while they're talking. So, I see it's going down a little bit. Okay, grab one thing from what they were talking about before, and okay, I branch onto that. I'm gonna hold on to that for a little bit to gravitate towards a different conversational topic, or just keep the conversation just flowing, keep it flowing, right? It's like a boat, right? You have to keep paddling it. If you stop paddling it, you don't get the momentum of the boat to help you. The boat starts to become stagnant and it becomes dead in the water. You have to keep paddling it, and when you keep paddling it, the momentum of the water is also going to help you, because now it's actually moving forward and you're paddling at the same time. It's the same thing with conversations. Keep the momentum going forward, and the longer you keep the momentum for, the longer the person keeps talking. Here's another thing though. Here's another thing too, right? The longer the person keeps talking, it builds likeness, it builds rapport. And the reason why it does that is because when people talk about things that they like, or when they open up and you allow them that space to open up, or that area to open up, now they start to associate you with a good time. They associate you with, okay, this is good conversation. He's a good person. I could be myself around him. This is how people get more comfortable, and they are not so, they get more lenient around you. I'm not gonna say be manipulative or anything like that, but you could get people to be on your side in certain situations, or like ask them valuable information that other words they probably wouldn't have gave you if I'm saying, you weren't that close. And I literally learned this shit. I didn't read How to Win Influence and Gain Friends Easy or something. It's some book like that. but I will give it a read one day. But you know, it comes from studying people. When you study people, this is what you start to pick up. I always used to wonder why my conversations before were kind of stagnant, right? And what I realized is that it wasn't stagnant per se, right? I was making it stagnant. I either did one thing or two things, right? I either made it awkward or I made it all by myself, right? Those two things, two conversational errors that you do not do. Do not make it awkward, right? Every time you approach a conversation, have the confidence. Don't give a fuck how they look at you. Have that confidence that, okay, I'm going to carry this conversation. And if they don't want to conversate with you, cool. Leave it. Move on to the next. No harm, no foul. Don't take it to heart. Don't say that it's something with you. No, there's a couple billion people out there in the world. Somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody would like to talk to you, right? Number two, don't make the conversation about you. The person might really be feeling you. It might be feeling the topic, or might really be interested in what you have to say and this and that, right? But understand your time will come. This is not about you. Conversation is about almost a little bit of flattery. People want to see themselves in the conversation. People want to feel good and feel you know what I'm saying? That feeling when you talk to somebody. That's what builds likeness, and that's what builds relationships, Now, when you're talking about yourself constantly and like, yeah, I did this and this, and I had to literally hold back on this too, because this is one of my downfalls that I had to realize early on. But when you are constantly talking about yourself, it's a no-no. It's a no-no, because now people are going to look at you as narcissistic, or they're going to be like, oh, here we go again. We're going to talk about Darius again. We're going to talk about nuisance. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to hear that. They want to hear more about themselves. And think about it. It leaves a bit of mystery, because now you didn't gain all their likeness because they got to talk about themselves and talk to you, right? Now it makes them even more curious to ask about you. They open the floor like, hey, but what about you? And this and that. And you know what I'm saying? The more they get engaged. And now it's like unwrapping layers of an onion, right? And you ever notice that in any situation, the person that's most mysterious and the person that is not easily read is the person that's most interesting. Same thing with girls, right? When guys go to approach girls and stuff like that, there has to be a certain level of mystery within the guy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's the confidence factor, and yes, there's approaching, right? And yes, there's a little bit of pursuing, but there has to be mystery. There has to be like, okay, does this person really like me? Where are they trying to go? This, and that. It has to be a little bit of that to create attraction, to create likeness. Because if you don't have mystery, if I know everything about you within the first 5 minutes of meeting you, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The mystery's gone. I don't have anything else to feed off of. Now I'm just looking at you like, all right, whatever. Like, I know your whole book. I know everything, this and that. Now, when you do it like an onion, you piece back bits and layers and layers and layers, which what I got from my boy Devontae. You know what I'm saying? He definitely told me this. Like, you peel back layer after layer, then people get to know you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when people find out new things every time. Oh shit, I didn't know that you played jazz. Oh shit, I didn't know that you knew how to dance. I didn't know that you go to the gym and this. You want those things. You know what I'm saying? When people say those things, it gives them a brand new perspective of you, and it makes them see you in a higher regard. If you were to tell them that the first time you see them, or the first, like, you know what I'm saying, like, month or whatever, you tell them like everything about you, there's no mystery. There's nothing to find out. Now you're boring. You're just like everybody else. And that's the key to communication. I literally just found this shit out, and I had to tell you. I had to tell you guys, because as an introvert, ex-introvert, I'm gonna say ex-introvert because I'm really trying to get over that shell. As somebody who identified themselves as a Sigma male and stuff like that, and trying to push away from social hierarchies and stuff, at the end of the day, we all need each other. We all need communication, and we all thrive together when we work together and network together. So life is not meant to be lived alone. Life is meant for us to thrive together. And at the end of the day, You could choose to be in your own bubble and choose to be like the lone wolf and this and that. But at the end of the day, you know deep down inside that when it hits at nighttime, you wish you had that friend you could call. You wish that you could, hang out with certain friends. You wish you were invited certain places. We all do. We're all human. And anybody who says they don't wish they were a part of things is bullshit. It's bullshit and it's a fucking lie, bro. And the only way that you get to these things, get to these levels where people actually want to be involved with you in this, and that, you have to learn how to communicate. So hopefully I did give you some insight on how to communicate. And not only that, the benefits of communicating and just being able to flow through conversation. And that's really it for the video, man. Until next time, do with this information as you please. Please don't. One thing I will say though, do not use this shit for evil, bro, because it can be used for evil, bro. But that could be a whole nother conversational topic. It's your boy Nuisance, and I'm out, man. Peace.